information from California in our investigation of the elite's penchant for child trafficking.
Well, hi, Alex. So far today, this morning, we met with the founder of Children of the Night, Dr. Lois Lee. And it was actually pretty amazing because we went to their center and they actually had young girls and boys living there at the center in like little dorms, and they had schools, they had all kinds of nice programs and things. So we actually had some of these children give us a tour around the facility. So that was actually a shock. I mean,
so you're actually now interfacing with children that have been trafficked.
Yeah, I mean, these were, as far as I could see, maybe the youngest 12-ish. But I talked to Dr. Lois Lee, and she said that she's rescued sexually exploited children as young as 8 years old. So they do come pretty young.
Sure, and that's because they're able to speak out by then. A lot of times they just get killed in the even darker stuff, or they get so programmed by it that they just accept it and never speak out.
Well, what it seems to be is like there's different elements, there's different vicinities of the trafficking. So what it seems to be is like the Children of the Night seems to work with kids that are on the street from poor families, poor areas where their parents are into drugs, and it's an abusive environment where they're being molested at home or raped at home by family members or by drug dealers so their mom can get drugs. And then they end up running off to the street, and then they get picked up by these traffickers or pimps who then prostitute them. But what's very interesting here is that what it seems to be is that the children are not as popular amongst your average everyday Johns, like your average Americans that are looking for prostitution. But what we are
of course, 99.9% don't. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Yes, but what we're finding is that the young children, the pedophile stuff, is very popular amongst the elite circle. And that's what is kind of interesting to see is that you're
of course, the general public's not. It's very rare in the general public. It's an elite taste. That's documented, yes.
Yes. So that's what we're finding, and I don't want to give too much away, but we're speaking with somebody that has worked for various intelligence agencies and that has information that is regarding a travel club that is linked to thousands of children that have gone missing, majority of them from Native American reservations. So we're going to be coming out with that stuff too later on in our investigation, but I don't want to reveal too much.
Exactly. Well, we know up in Canada that was the case. It's been confirmed where they were trafficking.
Exactly. That's part of it, and it's linked to some of these travel clubs where we have serial killers and murderers that do this stuff on behalf of the travel club. And that's kind of where this ties in to the dark web. And that's what we're on our way right now to go do.
Well, sure, there's a lot of travel clubs that go to Haiti, and that's one of their big things is sex tourism, and Dominican Republic, the pedophilia. It's just unbelievable.
Exactly. So you do find the pedophilia amongst just your average day street kids, but it is a lot more prevalent amongst the elite circles. And that, I think, speaks volumes that we have these elite people in powerful positions that are actually more into hurting these little kids, whereas it's not as common, although it is. It definitely is.
Well, sure. And I love how media tries to act like this is even going on with the Catholic Church and Penn State. And you got to ask yourself, why is MSM doing that? Because they're sexualizing children. Viacom's famous for it. They are trying to normalize this. They want our children. This is what the elite want. And because it's evil. If they can get us to sexualize our children, we'll accept anything.
Yes, and some of these stories are absolutely disturbing, and they make you just sick to your stomach. I mean, what's going on the deep web right now is pretty... it's pretty gruesome.
I've told you, I don't expect you guys to look at any of this. I know law enforcement's there and everything,
we're
but
not going to be watching.
No, I know law enforcement's all authorized it, but I don't want to tell employees that I know you don't even want to. Just do not look at it. We'll be back. So I'm going to talk to you some more. Commend your courage and the rest of the crew's courage, because this is one of the areas where I actually am a wimp. I've investigated it. I've talked to the police. I've seen the articles. It gets under my skin. and it makes me angry at a primitive level. So I know it's probably rough for you guys. What is it like being out there meeting with law enforcement, going to these orphanages, seeing the facts for yourself? What's it like?
Well, it's pretty sad. It's pretty heartbreaking. Definitely when I went and saw those young kids there, it was like, wow, I can't believe. It's just crazy to see faces, to actually see the people that are being affected by this, the children that are being affected by this. And so that to me was like really shocking because I wasn't really prepared for that. But, some of the stories even that we've been hearing having to investigate this about the dark web are pretty, they're pretty like, they make your stomach just so sick. They make you just want to like, I don't even know how to explain it. It just completely makes you sick to your stomach to hear some of this stuff that's going on out there.
What makes me even sicker is then to see media making jokes about it or Salon pushing pedophilia.
Yeah, I mean, that too, how you've had these like groups like that VerPed group where they're saying they're virtuous pedophiles. And at the same time, it's like, well, I don't really see, I mean, I know they're saying they're not going out and committing the crimes. Well, we don't know if that's necessarily true, but at the same time, if somebody is saying they're a virtuous pedophile, I don't think that they should be trusted around children or have those rights to be a school teacher or any type of authoritative figure around children, because that means that there's a risk associated.
All right, Millie, we're praying for you, Gavin, and of course, Zimmerman. Great job. We'll talk to you again tomorrow, and big reports when you get back in HD. Real groundbreaking stuff. 4th hour straight ahead.